Welcome back to Meters P.E.Vs. Today we're going to be taking the Ride1Up Portola on a full-scale range test. We're going to take this battery from fully charged to fully dead and see how far we can make it. In this test I'm going to be using pedal assist level 2 only, not doing any sort of throttle, and hopefully just keeping the pedal assist at level 2 to give you a good estimate on how much range you can really get or how far you can really go on this battery. We're just about to head out on a range test now. I have the bike fully charged, the charger is green, and I'm showing 5 bars on the battery meter. And as I said before, we're going to be doing this test using pedal assist only, and we're going to keep that on pedal assist level 2. The reason why I'm doing this is to give a pretty realistic high-end range to see how many miles you can really get out of this bike. Now, using pedal assist level 1 would be the best way to maximize your range, but that's just so awfully slow. I don't think anyone's going to be using that pedal assist level. With pedal assist 2, you're easily able to get up past 15-16 miles an hour, and that's a way more comfortable cruising speed. So I'm just going to keep you guys updated as we go along. I'm not going to have the video rolling the whole time, but every milestone we hit, I'll give you guys a little update on how the bike's doing. And whenever we drop battery bars, I'll let you know where that's at and see where we end up, which should help you get a pretty accurate representation of how far we go. Just to give you guys a little bit more perspective, I weigh about 180 pounds, and I probably got about 5 to 10 pounds worth of camera gear and water on my bag, so realistically close to 190. According to the wattage meter on the bike, pedal assist 2 peaks up around 160 watts, but while you're cruising the bike and up at the top speed of it, likes to say sitting around 85 watts, so we should be able to get a pretty good range here. I'm assuming somewhere around 25 to 30 miles, and I don't really plan on sticking to any particular routes that are extremely flat. I'm going to go over where I like to usually ride. There's some flat spots, some steep hills, some little light off-roading. We're really just going to go anywhere and see what comes our way. And as I said, I'll keep you updated as we go. We're making pretty good progress. Just about to hit 4 miles and still see no signs of the battery bar dropping. Even going up some of the hills, it isn't dropping while I'm using most of the pedal assist, but we're looking like making good progress. So it looks like we just hit 6 miles on the bike, and I also noticed we lost our first bar battery. I'll have to go back through the owner's manual when I get home and see exactly what that means percentage wise, but I think it's probably around 20% battery loss. But 6 miles is pretty good range, so if it stays the same way, we should be able to get about 25 miles or so if we keep this pace and keep this battery usage. So I think I'm going to go head back down on the main long stretch of road that I came in on, and then ride up through town and do some more of the range testing up there. Definitely gets a little bit sketchy riding on these narrow sides here. It's really not much of a shoulder over there too, and right here I'm riding right next to the guardrail, so you got to be careful going through these sort of roads while riding bikes like this. Now it looks like it's opening up a little bit more. Just checking back in with the mileage again. Looks like we're about to hit 8 miles. Still only have 1 bar of battery drained. As I said, I'm just using level 2 the whole time. I haven't changed it yet. I sure would feel nice to boost it up on some of these longer hills, but I want to give you guys a pretty accurate representation of what we can do with this bike. Now up to a long uphill again. Just got done taking a little breather there. We just ran over 10 miles so far. Still only down 1 battery bar, but let's keep cranking through and see how far this bike can take us. I think that's about one of my favorite parts about e-bikes, is being able to just go out and do long adventures all day long and not having to worry about getting too winded. And keeping it on this low pedal assist, I still am getting a pretty good workout in, just not straining super far. I mean, realistically, if I was on a regular bike, I probably wouldn't be able to get more than 8 to 10 miles in without being completely drained. All right, let's keep on cruising down this road. Getting back into town now, so let's see what we can do. Just ran over 11.1 miles now. Well, if I'm gonna be completely honest, this is actually taking a lot longer than I thought it would be to drain down this battery. So I think I'm just gonna throw it here on a time lapse and try to get up to probably around 15 miles. I'll give you an update around then, or just whenever the battery drops down again. So I'm gonna throw on a time lapse, cruise through town, and let's see how far we can go. All right, quick little bathroom break and back on the ride. I think I might have severely underestimated the capabilities of this bike and this battery. We're just about to hit 14 miles and still only down 1 bar. So I'm gonna have a long way to go to get this thing fully drained. I'm gonna take another little breather here and plan out some of the rest of my route here. Bike's looking good. So give you guys an update. We're at 16.8 miles on the bike and I still have not dropped any more battery. So I think I have a few things I need to get done today. So I'm gonna have to extend this into a couple day range test. I'm honestly really impressed with this battery and the efficiency on this bike. Like I said before, I am using pedal assist and definitely put in a lot of work into the bike. But for only being a 10.4 amp hour battery, still keeping a great pace, it's really awesome to see that this bike can go so far on a charge. Gonna try to make it back home, do a little time lapse of that, see if we get to lose another bar by then. But I'll keep you guys updated on the end of our ride, and we're gonna have to do a part 2 to this here soon. Cruising pretty good down this hill though, and about 24 miles an hour. All right, we're just about to arrive back home, so let's give a little bit of the end of the trip update. We finally lost our second bar battery. It started flashing around 18 miles whenever I was going up hills, and it would come back on the flats or when I was coasting. But now it looks like it's fully down, and we made it to 19.3 miles, and that's just with the first battery bar just barely starting to go. So this, again, I'm really impressed with how good this battery has held up. Especially for only being the 10.4 amp hour battery. It's really impressive that we can go this far, and just really shows that this Portola is a great option as a commuter bike or a very capable bike for longer travels. So I'm gonna go back home. Like I said, I have some things I need to do today, and then next day that I have off and have some time, I'm gonna go take the bike back out and do the rest of the range test. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. If you've enjoyed so far, why don't you hit that like and subscribe button? This really helps out my channel and makes more videos like this possible with other awesome P.E.Vs. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll come back with the part 2, and we'll finish off this battery. Today we're doing our part 2 to the range test on the Ride1Up Portola. Still going to be keeping it in pedal assist 2 and just seeing how far we can make it. So last time it looks like we ended up on exactly 20 miles. It started off with 4 bars of battery, but just pulling out of my driveway, it already dropped back down to 3, which is right where we left off last time. So we're gonna just keep cruising around today and see how far we can make it. Again, keeping it in pedal assist 2, so this will be a nice leisurely cruise, using most of the work with my pedaling instead of using the bike for most of the power. But let's see how far we can go. So, keep you guys updated as we go along and once we hit any crazy milestones. Oh, looks like my GoPro battery died on me for a little bit there, but just cruising back through. Get out of here. I feel like it's gonna take a long time to drain this battery. When we're just cruising along at this speed, bike's only drawing about 75 watts. Whenever you're just cruising easily, it'll go up to around 100 or 120. You need a little more power, but right now we're just coasting at 75. It does make the bike very easy to pedal along on these long straights, but definitely not good for draining my battery fast. There has been a lot of times where I've wanted to use the throttle, but to keep this test fair, I'm just going to use pedal assist only. Suffer through the hills. A little throttle. There's no way I was doing that on pedal assist alone. I don't think I can get through this way. I might have to try the other way and see where that takes us. Let me check my maps. Well, after looking at it on the maps, I don't think that's happening. Definitely getting my workout in, that's for sure. I have to imagine that this one's dropping pretty soon.
Did use a little bit of throttle to help me get up that steep grass hill, and I did see the battery bar drop down, but then it immediately came back up. So I think we're kind of on the verge of taking this last bar down. All right, there we are, just at 30 miles. Still rocking 3 bars of battery, so I'm gonna switch back over to time lapse for a little while and go try to cruise down one of the other real nice roads that I like. And maybe after that I'll try to stick to some less hilly roads because my legs are starting to feel it. All right, so it looks like our battery's finally dropping down to 2 bars. We're just at 31.5 miles, but I got a few things I need to do today, and I'd like to get this ride over with and kill this battery. So I'm making the executive decision that we're bumping it up to pedal assist level 3 instead of 2 now. So 2 had a max wattage output around 150. Yeah, about 150. 3 is looks like it's peaking around 250. So this will be really nice to help kill the end of this battery and have a pretty quick end of the ride cruise. So still the same thing. I'm going to be using pedal assist only for this, but just bumping it up to a little bit higher level so we can get this range test done a little bit quicker. Nonetheless, even just using 2 for as long as we did, getting 30 miles is really impressive. That's all I expected to get out of the whole battery of the bike to begin with. So getting that and still having 2 bars left to spare is really awesome results. This just goes to show that this bike can be a great commuter for somebody who actually needs to use their bike to get to and from work. If you're not worried about going too fast, this might be perfect for you. Now on pedal assist 3, this is definitely a better cruising speed. We're keeping it closer to 20 miles an hour now. So we should blow through the rest of this battery relatively quickly. Just gonna go back up through town and head up a little closer to my house and see where we go there. So again, I'll probably throw it in time-lapse mode until the battery drops down and see where we end up. This is definitely a much better cruising speed. Probably should have done this from the get-go. See how fast we can go. 26, 27, 29, about to hit 30. There you go. All right, well, I'm here to make a final update. So I bumped the battery up to pedal assist level 3 to hopefully wear down the battery a little bit quicker. And so far it seems like it's done nothing more. Still rocking 2 bars of battery. We have traveled a total of 38.4 miles, getting very close to 40 miles. And yeah, this battery's just chugging along. I'm really impressed with how many miles I've gotten out of this. Fortunately, I got to go back home now and do a few things. So still need to make a part 3 to this and finally kill all the range of the battery. I'm expecting maybe another 5 to 10 miles out of here. I'm honestly pretty surprised that the second bar of battery hasn't dropped down. So I think we're gonna call it here. I'm gonna take the bike back home. I'm gonna leave the battery as is, and then maybe tomorrow morning or tomorrow night, I'll be able to go out and get the last little bit of the range test done and see where we end up. So again, thank you guys for tuning in. I'll be back with you here shortly and we'll finish out this range test.
All right, so we're finally doing part 3 to this range test. Currently, we're sitting at 39.1 miles, so pretty close to 40. Gonna keep it on pedal assist 3 this whole time, since 2 just doesn't drain the battery quick enough and I don't have a whole crazy lot of time. But just gonna go for a cruise and see how quickly we can finish off this battery and how many miles we do. So keep you guys updated as we go along in milestones, and we'll see you when we drain this battery. Pedal assist level 3 is definitely a lot quicker than 2, and honestly I like this way more, just to cruise around and still use the pedals a little bit. It's just a bit nicer of a speed, getting 250 watts. Honestly, the most perfect day to go out. It's been super hot here in Pennsylvania. We're getting struck with a little bit of heat wave. So today it was up to 92. It's cooled off to, it says 87, but it feels a lot cooler than that with the sun going down and cruising in the wind. But it's just the perfect temperature to be out. It's a great way to end off this range test. Doing a little bit of off-roading on the Portola. Even though this thing only has front suspension, it does hold its own pretty well, and riding in some light off-road. It does get a little bit sketchy in some of the bigger gravel, but other than that, these tires hold up pretty well and give you plenty of grip for all you'll need on this bike. So it looks like we just got over 40 miles. It says we're at 40.2, which I'm honestly so surprised that this battery has lasted this long. Usually whenever I take out this bike, all my other friends are riding my faster stuff, so I just keep it in pedal assist 5 and crank to keep up with them. So I drain the battery pretty quick doing that, but doing this whole range test and some of the lower pedal assist shows how efficient this bike can really be. This is what I like about pedal assist 3. You can cruise and crank pretty hard and go a little bit over 20. Whereas pedal assist 2, you're kind of sitting around 15 to 18 miles an hour, which this just feels a lot faster. Oh, now it looks like my battery bar is flashing. See if I let off. And it's still flashing at me. Maybe it didn't like going that fast for such a sustained period of time. I'm gonna go sit up here for a little bit and see if it wants to recharge itself. So I'm gonna park up here for a little bit and see if we get our bar to come back. A little bit for a couple minutes, and it was still flashing the whole time. Wasn't really doing anything. I figured just stop and not using any power to let it recharge back up. But I turned it off and turned it back on again, and it says we have 2 bars again. So might just kind of stick around here for a little bit and pedal through the street and see if we wear it down any. This is a nice long stretch and nobody should really be around. Still just got my flashing battery bar. Like I said, I'm gonna have to look up in the manual afterwards and see what that means, if that's just 1 bar left or what the case is. Well, looks like we're closing in closer to the end, but we'll be able to at least hit 45 miles, which again, it's really impressive for a bike like this. And this is only the 10.4 amp hour battery. There's an even bigger one, the 13.4, I believe. And that's it's only $100 more. So honestly, if you need the Portola for long commutes, I'd definitely just say spend the extra $100 and get the slightly bigger battery. I'm also curious what this bike will do whenever it fully drains down. I know this is definitely not really good to do to the batteries. I'm gonna give it a second once I get back home and make sure I throw it on the charger for a little bit. Curious if the bike will just shut off or give me a like very low battery warning. Just have to see. But we just hit 44 miles. Still going pretty quick, but it definitely is feeling a bit more sluggish. Back at it. I think I'm just going to go cruise around this neighborhood a little bit until this battery is just fully finished off. Probably speed this part up and let you know what happens whenever that battery finally finishes out. On the nice long back road that initially took me down to the flashing bar. Probably gonna go cruise up and down this road a couple times till we finish her off and try to make it home from there. Oh, I just saw my I have no battery bars left and it says 0 watts power. Yeah, this is all me. Well, better keep my speed up for a little bit here as much as I can. Honestly, I didn't even really realize that the bike switched over to no power. It's pretty nice that you still can see your speedo and the rest of the display turns on. So I guess that answers our question on what happens when the bike fully dies. So let me just see here. We just got to 47 miles and most of that was done in speed level 2 or pedal assist level 2. I think until about 31 miles and then I got sick of pedaling, so we turned it up to 3 and got an extra 17 miles on the last 2 bars of battery, because on part 2 is when I got down to the second bar and was cruising around for a while like that. But I'm very surprised at this bike. But it does look like it's still counting up our miles, but like I said, I checked right as soon as it died, got down to 47 miles. One last final test. This is no power at all, full straight pedaling. See how fast I can go. Actually, I was gonna say, just give me a boost. I got 247 watts back. Just came back on. Probably just wanted to recharge for a little bit. And now I'm getting a little bit of extra pedal assist at the end, even though it says 0 bars of battery. Now, I'm gonna ride this out for as long as I can. We'll see if this will take me the whole way back home, or if I'm gonna be pedaling for the last little bit of it. See if it still stays on after doing a little bit of a hill climb. Should be a bit more strenuous for this motor. Oh, nope, no help there. It's a great time to lose the power. But at least we're pretty close to home, so it won't be too bad of a bike ride back. I'm honestly very surprised at how easy it is to pedal this thing without any assist on. It's a really nice gear set for a bike. But it's definitely not fun going through all that off-road, pedaling these big fat tires. Well, as I do the pedal of shame back home, just want to thank all you guys for tuning in and watching my range test on the Portola. Again, I am very impressed with getting 47 miles on this bike. And I used pedal assist, but I was on levels 2 and 3 this whole ride and still got 47 miles, which is a great number. I mean, if you had to commute and you had a commute that was 20 miles each way, especially if it was pretty flat, you could do that no problem. So in a little bit here. Probably going to work on doing a range test doing throttle only. For this bike, it's only limited to 20 miles an hour, but use the full power on the bike, so it can definitely drain your battery pretty quickly. So I'll see you guys back at home and let you know how the rest of the ride went. Finished the last mile and a half of my ride back home, pedaling this thing. I am definitely sweating after all that, but honestly, I'm very surprised at how easy this thing was to pedal. I didn't really have any issues. 47 miles for a 10 amp hour battery on a $1,000 e-bike is pretty insane. Like I said, in the future, I'm gonna finish up doing a review of doing a throttle only range test. It's definitely gonna be nowhere near 48.5 miles, but I'm curious to see how this bike will do with its top speed limited to 20 with the throttle. So if you guys want to check along and see how that goes, be sure to subscribe. And if you are interested in picking up your own Ride1Up Portola, check out the affiliate link in the description of my video. If you purchase your bike through here, it helps out this channel immensely and shows me that I helped you make your decision. Hope you enjoy riding, take it easy, and I'll see you next time.